Quick solution: inject fasted, inject during the day, stay away from bedtime. These 3 changes will change weak response to a great response when you are messing around with these GH-based peptides. So why are your GH-based peptides not working? Or why are you not getting the results you think you should be getting from these GH-based peptides? Being a researcher, the only thing that we can do to identify if these compounds actually work is to read the studies, the clinical trials, and those that can read the information, decipher it, and understand it. Those are the ones that would benefit the most from these research compounds. I say that because in most cases, most of us don't know what we don't know when it comes to these research compounds. We may believe something is true based on our understanding of it, but it's not actually true. That's why it's within your best interest to where when you are introduced to new information concerning these research compounds is to evaluate it, try to understand it, try to find information that contradicts it, or try to find information that says, okay, this information is correct. I need to change what I'm already doing. If your ego is involved, if you stick to what you've already believed to be true, you will not find the research compounds that you need. You need to be able to change and adjust based on new information, but you need to validate the new information. So I'm gonna give the top 5 reasons why your GH-based peptides may not be working. 5 is you may not be using the best possible GH-based peptides based on what you want to do. So if your goal is fat loss and body recomposition, that's Tesamorelin. CJC-1295 No DAC, that's a fast GH pulse. Fast meaning it doesn't last as long as Tesamorelin, but it's quick and it's effective. CJC-1295 No DAC, in my opinion, is something you should take before bed. From a research standpoint, it's something you should take before bed because it's fast, it's quick, it doesn't last a few hours like Tesamorelin. There's a place for it, it's effective, and you can use it. It's not as strong and it's not as potent as Tesamorelin, but there is a place for CJC-1295 No DAC, and in my opinion, it's something you take right before bed. Ceramolin. Ceramolin is the weakest of every single GH-based peptide on this list. It only lasts a few minutes. The only good thing with ceramolin is that the people that decide to use ceramolin, they are usually the beginners when it comes to using research compounds. Some may see this as a stepping stone to CJC-1295 No DAC or Tesamorelin, but it's by far the weakest GH-based peptide on this list. If you decide to experiment with these compounds, it's still a good start. So, but it is the weakest. Well, I call the next 3 amplifiers because these are GH-based peptides that I believe you shouldn't take on their own. You should stack it with the 3 I mentioned before. The first one is ipamorelin. It's clean, it's subtle, very minimum side effects. Great to stack with either Tesamorelin, CJC, or ceramolin. The next 2, GHRP2 and GHRP6. These are 2 messy GH-based peptides. And what I mean by messy, they will in some cases affect your cortisol and it will spike your hunger. Some people want the hunger aspect of that some GH-based peptides offer. So if hunger is your goal, GHRP2 and GHRP6 are the go-to. So now you get a complete understanding of what these actual GH-based peptides offer, so you should get a better understanding of which one works best for you. 4 is sleep interruption. This is not always the case with most people, but it could be an issue, cause restless, awake, alertness. This stimulation prior to sleeping can disrupt your natural GH pulse. It's not a big issue, but it will most definitely slow your results when it comes to GH-based peptides if you are stimulated prior to going to sleep. 3, if you want to optimize how you are using these peptides, you should fast 2 to 3 hours before injection and 2 to 3 hours after injection. If your blood sugar is elevated and your insulin is high, you cripple the GH response. In all of the studies that I've read, these studies was conducted in a fast state. Now, is this something you definitely have to do? No. But if you want to go along the lines of the studies and get the actual benefits from these studies, you should fast before and you should fast after each injection. This is another one that may be somewhat controversial. This is 2. You're not taking advantage of your daytime GH pulse. Your nighttime pulse is one thing. Your nighttime pulse will not be amplified based on you injecting at night. It doesn't stack on top of that. That being the case, your best bet is to increase your daytime pulse, a pulse that is normally baseline during the day. Creating this daytime pulse is creating a pulse that never actually exists during the day. So the benefits associated with this: fat oxidation, daytime energy, recovery, metabolic output. If you inject at night, you miss this opportunity entirely. This is probably one of the primary reasons why most people don't maximize their results when they are on a GH-based peptide. So 1 is probably the primary reason why your GH-based peptides aren't working. You are primarily injecting before bed. I know this contradicts a lot that I've said. It contradicts a lot that's been said in the past. But based on all the studies, if you only inject before bed, you aren't maximizing the benefits of GH-based peptides. So let me explain. Your biggest GH pulse is 60 to 90 minutes after you sleep. That's the biggest pulse. So if you inject, say for instance, Tesamorelin that lasts 2 to 3 hours, if you inject that, you injecting Tesamorelin to amplify your GH pulse isn't going to amplify your natural GH pulse. You are wasting it. You will get some of the benefits, but you aren't maximizing those benefits. If you inject Tesamorelin before bed, you will not maximize the benefits. That nighttime pulse is already maxed out. You can't amplify that by stacking Tesamorelin on top of it. And you're overlapping the pulse that your body naturally creates with Tesamorelin. And Tesamorelin won't override that or increase the pulse. This is why I believe most people aren't getting the full benefits of these GH-based peptides. They skip the daytime injection entirely. The best possible time for them to increase their GH pulse, and they focus solely on the injection before bed. Now, can you inject before bed? Yes, you can, but your best bet is to take something like CJC-1295 No DAC and Amplify, not Tesamorelin that lasts 2 to 3 hours. Likely, what would happen if you do decide to inject CJC-1295 No DAC and Amplify, that pulse will be long gone prior to you within a deep sleep, 60 to 90 minutes in your sleep, and your natural GH pulse is elevated. There will be no overlap if you do CJC-1295 No DAC before bed, but more than likely, if you inject Tesamorelin before bed, you fall asleep, that tesamorelin injection will not override your natural GH pulse. It will be not necessarily a waste, but you won't get the full benefits of that actual tesamorelin injection. So, quick solution: inject fasted, inject during the day, stay away from bedtime. These 3 changes will change weak response to a great response when you are messing around with these GH-based peptides. So a simple blueprint when referring to all of these peptides and what research suggests when you should actually use them. Tesamorelin, fasted morning. CJC-1295 No DAC, midday or before bed. Ceramolin, if you decide to go that route, morning. GHRP2, GHRP6, there will be hunger spike, but the best possible time to take these is first thing in the morning, if hunger is your goal. Nighttime injection, especially for tesamorelin, is probably the weakest time that you can take this. Daytime injection is an opportunity. So daytime injection is an opportunity not only for tesamorelin, but also for CJC-1295 No DAC. Now, if you aren't getting the results that you should be getting running these GH-based peptides, and the peptides that you are using are legit GH-based peptides, in most cases, it's not the peptides itself. It's likely the timing, the overlap, or the insulin window. It's either 1 or 3 of those reasons why you aren't getting the full benefits of these GH-based peptides. Fix all 3, and I have absolutely no doubts in my mind, from a research perspective, the results will show. So if this video helped you in any way, you know the routine. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.